Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to WeDiscuss.
WeDiscuss.
We are not talking about video games. We are going to discuss, are you a content creator or a content consumer?
So what do you think about podcasts?
Do you find yourself sitting in front of your phone, or do you say to yourself, man, I could do that. Edit videos. I could start a podcast. This is only episode 2, and we've been looking at different places: Buzzsprout, Podbean, RSS.com,
like
Spotify. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not listening to it on YouTube. Put it on Spotify."
Rude.
Fine, I'll do
No, I'm
that.
kidding.
Another person said,
2 people?
if you post it on I'll listen to it if you post it on an actual podcast, like if you know what I mean.
They're like
Place it someplace where podcasts are listened to.
Wow.
I was like,
so then,
that's fine.
That's why we've been
plan on it.
I was looking at videos.
Your brother said, what did your brother say? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what did your brother say?
Oh, he said, make more.
Blanked hard as hell.
Because you just hard interrupted me and I had no idea. He basically just said, make it more. I need more. He loved it.
We're talking about podcasts today on our podcast. Isn't that interesting? I hope it's interesting. How do you start a podcast? What do? You got to pick a topic. You got to have a person who, you could just be one person talking about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any podcasts where it's a single person just, my day today was I drank a bottle of water and ate a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who that's basically a blog,
mm-hmm.
right? You're just shooting the shit, talking yourself. I don't know. Most podcasts are 2 people or more going back and forth,
mm-hmm.
exchanging ideas, talking about a specific topic. And most podcasts.
Specific topic.
Most podcasts are ultra specific.
Oh, very.
This is the strength of my leaf blower on a cold day in Finland. I don't know. And then,
that's ridiculous.
You know what I mean?
But very accurate.
But
stuff you should know.
Stuff you should know.
Mm-hmm.
They hone in on a specific topic for that day, but they're not like leaf blowers in Finland.
No. So they have
time.
a really good one about vultures. And it's not very long, but it's very interesting. And they're one of my favorite birds. And it's very specific. But in there, they have little quips about their life and their significant others and whatever.
Stuff you should know talks about stuff. We talk about stuff. That's what this podcast is. This is stuff we know.
We discuss.
Stuff we discuss.
We're going to discuss one thing, and then we might discuss 6.
Movie Dumpster, our friends, Joe and Sean, what up? They started out talking about horror movies. That's their thing. But they don't just cover horror movies, one. And they don't just cover the worst horror movies, because they've covered some good movies.
Mm-hmm.
And they recently just covered Gremlins for Christmas, which, Gremlins is one of the best movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Christmas movie, but it's a horror movie, but it's slice of a comedy.
Yeah.
I could talk about Gremlins. Let me go on their podcast. No, my point is they started one spot and they've kind of evolved. They still do a roundabout that thing, but it's progressed for them.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff you should know was short. They were doing 5-minute, 10-minute long podcasts about a topic.
Mm-hmm.
And it was here's this thing, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for listening. Right? Then they grew their listener base. And then now they're doing their regular episodes are 45 minutes to an hour.
I
minimum.
love them. They're so fun.
And they are fun.
Okay, so I'm going to be real. Being real, I was definitely not into their podcast at all. I was like, this sucks. I'm bored. Okay. No more of that. You
were bored because you didn't like Josh and Chuck. You thought they were boring or?
No, I just I don't think it was them per se. I think it was the fact that you were trying to make me listen to stuff like that.
Yeah, I think you didn't like Josh's voice at first. You were kind of oh, his voice is weird. Which I straight up, Josh Clark has a weird voice.
But you were trying to make me listen to this podcast, and they have very soothing voices. They're very chill, right? Mm-hmm. No, they're really great, and I think Chuck's laugh, like, I love it. I don't know what it is. It's like it's not soothing.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
He's got that old man laugh.
No, I don't know.
Chuck got me into Fang Island, and I know I say that all the time.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
I love Fang Island. Met those guys.
We saw them.
Yeah, a couple
times.
The
kids. So I wasn't into it, and then like I started getting into it. You had me listen to. I'm pretty sure it was like.
I was trying so hard looking up topics
that I'd be interested, like witches and
I was like
birds.
I was like, look, they're allies. Like they don't like, stuff that you don't like, and they like things that you do like. You should totally like these guys.
Yeah, and I really
do.
On
your level.
Mm-hmm. There's some really cool
and
fun and interesting things.
Wonderful.
I don't necessarily listen to any other podcasts. I did 2 summers ago listen to like a full health. Actually 2 podcasts. Like I kind of like skip through certain things, but like a wellness podcast. It wasn't very long, but like it was informative, and I liked that because I was like kind of just painting mindlessly and then listening.
Sure. I started 11-ish years ago. I started listening to.
Oh yeah, I heard some like a long time ago.
But it was How Stuff Works is where I started. Like I stuck with Stuff You Should Know. The one that sticks out for me that long ago was when they talked about the 10,000 year clock.
You always talk about this one.
It sparked an idea in my brain, and I was like, 10,000. I was like, I've never thought of that concept. And then it was like, it took hold of me. I don't know. It was so weird of an idea.
You reference it. I feel like once a month.
I don't know if Jeff Bezos is still doing it in that side of that mountain in Texas. I need to look it up. That's where I started with podcasts. And yeah, I don't listen to too many others.
I was listening to Jenna Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to her podcast.
Office Girls, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Office Ladies.
Office Ladies?
I think Office Ladies.
Office Women?
Office Ladies.
Office Elderly Ladies.
So fucking rude.
They're old now. They're getting old.
They're not elderly. You
listen.
You're over 40. You're elderly. How dare you? Remember, you're in that 40 to 80 bracket. So
how dare you? My hip takes offense to that.
I'm still in my 30s.
Oh my God! Remember when I fell skateboarding and I couldn't walk up the stairs?
Yes, that was like.
I was like, am I gonna have to get my hip replaced? So back to right before we talked about the elderly women, the grandmothers you were talking about just a second ago.
You're the worst. They are not much older than us.
How dare you? How old is Jenna Fisher?
She's 49.
Angela,
how old are you?
She's only 52.
How old are you? You guys are in your 40s together.
Stop it. No, you just. Oh God, how old is John Krasinski? 44. Wow, Jenna Fisher. Robbing the cradle.
They're not together in real life.
No,
so stupid.
Well, actually, how old is his wife? What's her name? Yeah. Emily Blunt.
Yeah. She's so awesome. I really like her. I think she's cute.
Husband was he's robbing the cradle.
40.
All right.
This is kind of messed up. I thought she was older than that. And I'm usually really good.
Because Jenna Fisher's 49, I would have thought Emily Blunt was older than that too.
I thought
I'm just thinking of
maybe 44, and I'm usually really good with ages. You know that shit's right.
You are.
I'm very good with ages.
Okay, back to elderly ladies. I'm rewinding.
I can't.
I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm trying to rewind to when I said
We're not saying elderly ladies on this. You're so rude.
All right, Jenna Fisher, I apologize. I thought you were older, not because I've seen a picture of you recently. And said, oh, that lady's elderly. Just because I thought, like, it's been so long since The Office, No, yeah. I feel like it's been like 40 years since The Office aired. It just feels like an old show.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that long ago, and I'm sorry to Jenna and to Angela. I apologize. I've made my peace. Please forgive me. join us on our podcast journey. A different podcast that I have listened to.
Mm-hmm.
I was all in when it was first coming out.
What?
And I gave up because it just they just talk about garbage.
Oh, I know which one you're going to say.
Abroad in Japan.
I don't like the way the one guy breathes. I can't.
Pete Donaldson?
I can't.
Pete Davidson, whatever his name is.
I don't
I'm
understand.
kidding. It's Pete
like,
Donaldson.
I know, like, you have to kind of like the people's voices that you're listening to. That's a definite thing. Like, my voice is not for everybody. I have kind of a raspy voice, and like,
I love it.
Thanks. When he speaks, it's like
I have to listen to it again because I have no clue.
Brace. When he's talking, he's like, it's
because he plays soccer. He's always elevated breathing.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the way he sits and when he speaks.
You know, he's a professional radio like personality guy. Like that's his actual job, or one of them at least, and he does commercials on radio and stuff. I'm not going to say that like
sure.
I think has a lovely voice. He has you know, he's a British guy, and he's when you hear him, I'm like, yeah, that guy's British.
But his voice
and
is
if
a
you like
high
British
pitch,
accents, that's
like
cool.
It has like a little higher.
Yeah, he's a higher register speaking. Yeah,
I can't do that. I think
my favorite thing about him is that
he's
he's into punk rock music. He was like, "Oh, you should listen to Maximum the Hormone," and I was like, "Hell yeah, Maximum the Hormone!" But I got out of listening to their podcast because they'll have something
like weird,
an interesting title that would draw you in because that's what Mr. Broad is good at. And then they make like a comment on it, and then they go to listen to their mail, and it's like, what? You spent 10 minutes shooting the shit, talking to a guy. Hey, what have you been up to? Like, bro, you just had a podcast like 4 days ago. This is what you've been up to.
I can't.
You haven't talked to each other in 3 days. In fact, you may have recorded these shits back to back.
Right. Change your clothes. I always think
they don't. I don't think they do video. I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
I always forget, and I sleep on this, and I shouldn't because it's probably amazing. And I think I've listened to it like once or twice. But my aunt's best friend has a podcast, and it's awesome. It's called Kill by Kill, and they talk about movies and horror movies and old. Like it's really cool. Just like movie dumpster, but like we don't have like time,
right? Yeah,
ever, and then I just forget, and then what?
Are you a content creator or a content consumer? Tim Rogers, I'm on his Discord, the Action Button Discord, and I brought that phrase up, and people were like, "Ugh, gross! I hate those words, creator, consumer. It's so corporate business, blah blah blah."
Oh my god!
It's the easiest two words to describe a person who is either watching or listening to something.
Yes.
Or what do you want me to say? Creating is the best term to say. They're either filming and editing or they're recording audio and editing.
I agree.
They are creating a thing for you to consume. There's no describe it, be angry about those words all you want. That's exactly what they are, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yes.
There is a person behind a creation of an object, and a person who is taking that thing in, whether it's visually and auditorially, or just one or both.
It's frustrating. They get like so mad about everything.
I'm so upset that somebody complained about that. And I've said this like 100 times. Are you a creator or a consumer? Are you sitting behind your desk recording a podcast or editing a video that you just were filming? Or are you sitting on your phone watching someone else who did that exact thing? You're sitting on your phone, you're sitting on your computer, you're sitting on your laptop, you're watching from your Xbox or your PlayStation, wherever you get your YouTube app or your TikTok app or your whatever, right? And you're watching, and this is the majority of people who have social media apps. They are consumers.
Oh yeah.
We are consumers. I'm not going to lie. I have an Instagram account that whenever I open it up to post something, and then I'm like, I got sucked in. I came here to do one thing, which was post a video or post a picture or post an update, and I get sucked in. Does Jimmy, MrBeast, get sucked in? I don't think he does. I will say this right now. MrBeast doesn't have a podcast. He has his videos on like every platform in every language. The guy is just unbelievable. That guy films all day and then has meetings about the next project. He's not watching crap unless it's those videos where he's watching something. That's the only way he is watching.
You don't think he's
no chance
going to the bathroom, taking a crap,
no
he's
chance.
On his phone and he's just like,
no
you
chance.
don't think so? Not at all.
Okay, Chris or one of the other dudes sends him, oh yeah, look at this video real quick. Yeah. Maybe we should use something from this idea and expand on it. Maybe. But the likelihood,
Jimmy,
that dude is a gajillionaire, or at least he will be. He's definitely going to be the first YouTube billionaire, 100% without a doubt. Dude will be the first billionaire who started on YouTube.
Is he not?
500 million, I think.
That's it?
Stop. He will be a guy who, like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, gives $1 billion to. Mark Cuban. But my point about that is, do you think Chris Broad is watching videos? Do you think any of these famous YouTubers,
content creators,
content creators are busy consuming, or are they talking with their team about the next step? MatPat puts out 3 videos a week at least, I think. I'm not 100%, but I think MatPat puts out 3 videos a week.
On 3 different things.
He has a team or teams that record, edit, and then he does voiceovers for. He's very smart. I mean, he's got his degrees. Like
him and his wife.
I love MatPat. I think MatPat is a great dude. He's my best friend.
Just like
pop up the disclaimer. That's my thing.
Who's the other
Gotta
guy?
put that on a shirt.
Pete
Never
McKinnon?
actually met him. Yeah, he does some in-person live shots too. I don't watch his stuff that much anymore because, hey, look what I'm doing. I don't have time. I'm working full time. Addie does watch MatPat a lot. She could tell me what's going on.
Oh yeah.
But I'm working and then coming home, make dinner, like hang out with the kids.
Yeah, we know. It's a lot. We don't have time for that.
I don't have to. I don't like. Oh yeah, people make fun of you for not being up with the current show that's on. Oh, you haven't seen all of Loki yet. Oh, you haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, you haven't watched all 10,000 episodes of One Piece yet.
Right,
bro. I'm trying to make a podcast right now. Are you a creator or a consumer?
I consume way too much.
Do you regret when you spend 10 minutes watching videos on Instagram or YouTube?
I've been recently trying to only do it like I need to use the bathroom or something. But I'm also fighting this whole just now being diagnosed with adult ADHD, finally diagnosed after 37 years of life, and taking medication now that I'm trying to figure out if it's working, and it's still not working. I'm still getting sidetracked. So I'm still doing the things that I don't want to do. So like that's a problem that I have. So like I overconsume.
It's like IceCreamSandwich talked about on his YouTube video about being diagnosed and then trying multiple different medications to see which one, worked out. And one he tried for a little while and it made him focus on one thing, but then he was too hyper focused on something that he didn't want to do. He's still trying to find the right thing. And, I get that. Like, that's tough.
That's where I'm at.
What's the right medication?
Medication.
What's the right medication?
What is that?
To get you, to make you, get you where you need to be, focused on the stuff that you care to do. He's making tons of money in his videos and his comics and things he's selling based on. So he's doing fine, I'm sure. We're not there. We can't spend too much time looking up different medications because we're a family of 3 and we have to make sure they all need to 3 kids. I'm sorry. We're a family of 5. You're thinking which 3?
I was like, me, you,
and which one of the cats, dog, or children.
I wasn't even thinking the animals. You went there.
I thought you would go there, so that's why I said it.
I was like, Winnie.
But seriously, we're a family of 5, right? We have to focus on everything that we need to do on a daily basis when we have things we want to do, you know?
Yeah.
We're not, the things we want to do, this podcast, making videos, making art, selling our wares.
Yeah.
That stuff is not happening because we're spending too much time in between the job that we have to work or the PT that we have to do to get better and healthier.
Yeah.
Then there's that downtime of, I just worked all day and I need 5 minutes. Anytime that you pick up your phone and you look at anything other than
I think about it as I'm doing that.
Anything other than looking at our channel is wasting time. Back to MrBeast. He started YouTube when he was 15.
I started making videos when I was 11.
I think his main channel is subscribed more than, like, is the most subscribed channel under that one Indian label. I just heard that today, actually. What I'm saying is, he was living with his parents. He was able to do those things, hyper focus. He didn't have kids. We're doing this now, 3 kids deep. One of them is in high school. The other one's about to be there. The other one's like working his way up the grades. We've got so much going on, and yet this is what we're trying. You know?
Yeah. Why not?
Listen,
if all
I'd
these
much
people
rather
can
be a creator.
I say capitalize. It's rude.
I'd much rather be a creator.
Yes.
Than sitting on my butt.
It's true. Yeah.
Let's open up a conversation here.
Heck
Are
yeah.
you a creator or a consumer? How often do you think about, you're sitting on your couch, you're sitting on your computer desk,
are you just
not
on
your computer
from
desk.
Work?
Yeah.
And you like check an email and then you like go right to
you open up
else.
YouTube,
yeah.
you scroll through it and then you close it. And then what's the first thing you do is you open it back up.
You've done that. I've done
Facebook,
that.
YouTube, Twitter, whatever. I'm
sure
you have an app of choice.
That's why I take my Facebook and I like put it deep into different. I put it into folders so I don't I don't go to it as often because I don't want to. I
took it off my home screen.
But I don't want to take it off completely because there are things
you might need to post something or reach out to somebody.
Yeah, and I do also talk to my brother through there because he is in Germany.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this content creator, content consumer thing? Do you get angry with yourself for wasting too much time on watching a YouTube video or going through social media, reading posts? And do you think like, hey, I should be working on my own thing, you know, in this downtime? Because look, there's a lot of people who are working 2 jobs and they are just dead tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they just want to lay down and zone out on some videos. I get that. This is our second job right now at this point. We are making pennies on YouTube videos, but it's fine. Like, you start somewhere. That's where Jamie started. That's where Chris Broad started. That's where MatPat and everybody who is a large content creator. That's where they started. And as they progressed, they weren't spending time watching videos anymore because they were too busy making them. Do you find yourself sitting in front of your phone, or do you say to yourself, man, I could do that, edit videos, I could start a podcast? Or
are you comfortable with doing that because you are busy and you only have so much time? Maybe you just don't, or you're not a content creator and you just do work and you just do come home and you just do want to chill and watch some stuff, some mindless things because you've had a rough day. It's okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
we
fine.
We are artists. Aimee loves, her medium is painting, but she loves printmaking and all kinds of other things, right?
Yeah.
Would love to wood burn, all kinds of stuff, okay? Mine is music and video editing. I like photography. I love photography. I'm just not very good at it. And so I love video editing. So these are the things. That's why I want to continue doing that kind of stuff. That's why I want to do this full time. The TPB and J, it's stupid. It's artsy though. And it's my kind of like thing that I think is really nice. I think some people will care. It's like Banksy. I don't give a crap about that guy's art. Some of it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, oh yeah, that guy's not throwing a Molotov cocktail. It's a bouquet of flowers. That's pretty okay. You know what I mean? But it's like a Jackson Pollock.
He does not like Jackson Pollock. But Jackson Pollock doesn't have just that drippy stuff.
But when I see
talked
that,
about this.
or if I see an 8-foot by 6-foot canvas that's a solid color, I'm leaving that purposely silent there because I want everyone else to audibly go, yeah, bro, I got it. You could come at me with there's purpose behind this and yada yada yada, right?
And
but I will tell you right now, that 8-foot by 6-foot solid color that is probably worth like $20, $40, $50, $100,000. Why is that single color of yellow or purple or white?
This is for
more
a different
important
podcast because this is like
my video of me making peanut butter and jelly. That guy created a painting of a solid color.
Sure.
He put a white canvas. He gessoed it and left it there. He walked away. He wasn't done, and they hung it up on the wall. And he's like, guys, all right. They're like, here's $100,000, buddy. Great job.
It's like the banana.
He like went to take a piss, and they hung it up on the wall.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I hate you. I can't. Listen, I feel a certain way about like
next
art
thing.
stuff.
Next thing, he like puts the frame down, goes to take a piss, and then they're like, "Oh my god,
it's
what
like
what will this man
urinal.
do next?"
Pull it up.
It's speaking to what Deschamps' what funeral? Is that what you just said?
Just put in Duchamp.
What does it say? Our Mutt 1917. What does that mean?
Can you? No, we're not doing this right now. This is not for this podcast. We're not deep diving into any of this.
Fine.
I just wanted you to see that shit. That's art.
Right. Yeah. And so is a solid thing. But tell me.
And it's content.
It's content that someone created and someone paid for. Just like this podcast. And I have every right to make this and hopefully succeed. Just like that person who gave somebody a blank canvas and called it "Take the money and run."
He's so jaded about
I'm
the
not
art
jaded
world.
at all. Nope, not jaded at all. If someone can duct tape a banana to a wall for $120,000, I can make a YouTube video and hope that it generates the same because I am creating my version of what I find interesting modern art. This has been WeDiscuss, asking the tough questions. Are you a content creator or a consumer? Are we answering that question? Well, we want to be creators more than consumers.
I will still consume shit because, listen, let's be real.
But yeah, it's a tough world we live in, and trying to get by, making money, doing the things you love every year, trying to get by. And then it's 2024. This is our 20th anniversary this year, me and Aimee being together since 2004. So
20 years.
This is it. This is our long. This is us saying, hey,
I'll be out of high school for 20 years this year.
And we will have been together for 20 years.
So weird. It's so weird. It's so weird.
This is it. This is us trying to do the things that we want to do and get by, doing that stuff. Yeah. Are you there? Are you happy? Are you comfortable with what you're doing? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like hanging out with us, come back again next week. Thanks for stopping by. It's been wonderful talking at you. I hope you've had an enjoyable time listening.
It's been wonderful talking to you.
It's been wonderful. You disgust me.
You
We disgust
each
other. I love you.
I love you.
Let's discuss some more next week. Mike win.
Aimee win.
We discuss.
We discuss.